even as fashion has gotten faster, cheaper, and more disposable, there's another cost to stocking up on fresh looks. Fashion is now one of the most polluting industries in the world. The textile industry alone produces more greenhouse gas emissions than the aviation and shipping industries combined. And the sheer amount of clothes we consume, which already accounts for more than half of all the textiles produced, is expected to keep going up, from 62 million tons in 2015 to 102 million tons by 2030. At that rate, the fashion business would need to use 35% more land and 50% more water.
There's this cute expression in China that you know the color in fashion next season by the color of the rivers in China.
Linda Greer with the Natural Resources Defense Council has studied the fashion industry in China for more than a decade. China makes more than half the world's clothing and textiles, adding up to a $267 billion business there. But the government's tolerance for all the water the industry uses and all the waste it leaves behind is running out.
China has gotten much more serious about its high-polluting industries over the past several years. They have closed down a lot of factories. They have really pressured a large number of companies and factories to upgrade their equipment, become more energy efficient and less polluting, use less toxic chemicals, etc.
China's also tired of being a destination for textile recycling, another surprisingly big cause of pollution. This year, authorities banned the import of used fabrics and clothing, and that ban could make the global fashion industry even less environmentally friendly.
China is the largest source right now, by far, of recycled fabrics and recycled fibers. If China bans all the source material, then they can't be producing the recycled yarns and fabrics and fibers. So we are working with the U.S. government and others to prevent China from fully implementing the policy.
Beyond recycling, there's another idea that's catching on with some labels: the circular economy. Ellen MacArthur, who runs a foundation in the UK, has been pushing this solution. She believes the fashion industry needs a drastic redesign, so it doesn't even create waste in the first place.
A vast majority of textiles that are produced end up incinerated or burned. We lose about $500 billion worth of value every year because clothing's hardly worn. The majority of what is made is turned into a product, it gets used, and then at the end of its life it gets thrown away. Basically, if you design an economy where there's no waste, it has to be circular. It has to feed back into the system, so the product would stay out there and used for as long as possible. It would then be designed so the materials can be recovered or someone else could use it, and then it would feed back into that economy as the raw materials.
Brands including Stella McCartney, Nike, and H&M have already signed up to work on ways to implement the circular economy concept into their fashion lines. But for now, it's still way more likely that the clothes you love today will end up in the landfill the next time you clean out your closet.